Welcome to the Field of 68 After Dark's YouTube channel. We are going to be live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube and on Stadium for the entirety of the spring. There are a lot of storylines that we can dive into. For me, it is Purdue without Zach Edey and what the post Big Z, the real Big Z era is going to end up looking like in West Lafayette.
Yeah, I think Purdue, Indiana are two that everybody's going to focus on, right? What's Purdue looking like without Zach Edey? What's Indiana look like with all this talent and all this NIL? And then I think the third one is the influx of teams coming from the Pac-12, right? I mean, you look at that, and it's obviously realignment has changed everything, but it's going to take a while to get used to the fact that we got UCLA and USC and Washington and Oregon in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I have Purdue as a top 10 team. And I know people, I can promise you that there are a lot of people that disagree with that based off of the way that my mentions have looked over the course of the last week and a half or so. But I am betting on the idea that Braden Smith and Fletcher Loyal are going to be one of, if not the best backcourts in college basketball. I think Trey Kaufman-Renn and Miles Colvin and Cam Heide and all of those guys are ready to take a big step forward this season. I trust in Matt Painter being able to develop players and get them better and get them to a point where they're able to win. And they got a lot of guys that have won a lot of games. And why would I bet against a coach and a bunch of players that have won as many games as they had over the course of the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years? The other one for me is Dusty May joining from Michigan, because I'm always fascinated by the guys that end up being anointed as the next like superstar head coach, or the guy at the mid-major level that ends up having like all of the hype heading in. Because there's always like, it was Andy Enfield and it was Shaka Smart and it was Archie Miller, and all of these guys have had varying levels of success once they've reached that level. But I do think that there's always a level of pressure that is put on them that is maybe unfair for what the expectation should be when they get to that new job. So I'm always fascinated to see what the next darling of the coaching ranks will do when they get to that bigger level. Like, I think Shaka is the most interesting one out of that group. He waited for like 4 or 5 years to get his big move and get the job that he wanted, and he got to Texas and like he did fine there, and then basically lost his job after earning a 3 seed for Texas. Like, it just, and then once he left, he went to Marquette and he kind of found the perfect landing spot for him in a job that he had a shot to get before he took the Texas job and was probably the better fit for him. So I'm very, very interested to see what Dusty's going to do at Michigan.
And I want to see what the Muss Bus does at USC. He's got a kind of a different philosophy here so far, right?
It's so weird hearing that in a Big Ten preview. Like, I can't wait to see what Eric Musselman does at USC when we're talking about that's never gonna be normal to me. I'm sorry, it's just never gonna. Every time I hear it, I'm gonna laugh.
The other part is, think about it. He took his shirt off enough in Fayetteville. What the hell is he gonna do in LA? Like, he may never wear his shirt in LA.
Hopefully, he'll have a better tan than you do right now.
I know. I got a little red the other day, actually. A little red. Can you see?
A little.
Yeah. Little red.
Yeah, it doesn't help that you have a nice orange shirt on that's really just bringing out the beach vibes.
It matches my forehead. But Muss is going a different route than he went in Arkansas, where he got those high-end freshmen, the Nick Smiths of the world. And now he's going with kind of a different group that I think is probably a little bit lower maintenance is probably the right word for it after last season's team, and hoping that, again, he can build this thing and make him pretty good this year.
Thanks for watching the Field of 68 After Dark. Make sure to hit that like button.